Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast. This is the time of the week that everybody has been waiting for. I mean, everyone. It's exciting. It's our review of the return of The Ultimate Fighter, season 29, episode 7. It's very exciting.
And I'm going to excited.
I am excited, and I'm excited for the listeners. I'm excited for them as well. Right at the start of the episode, before the credits even roll, there's a little clip there of Rettinghouse saying, "Brady, I love you, but I'm going to have to knock you out."
Brady, I love you, but I'm going to have to knock you out.
So, does that mean that he's, you know what I mean?
Well, it means he's a liar because you don't knock people out who you love. That's the end of that. It just shows how flippantly some people use words like love.
Me and my girlfriend, Christina, it's all about that love, baby.
I personally don't use that word, or if I do, I use it very, very, very rarely, so that when I say it actually does mean, or I'd like to think it means something. You don't knock out people that you claim to love.
Brady, I love you, but I'm going to have to knock you out.
That's the end of that.
Well,
so
I can't deny this thought process that you've got. I can't deny it. Would you knock out a Malteser chocolate bar? Or, something like that? Because I know you love them. Would you knock out your mash and sausage rolls?
Yeah, I would actually. But I wouldn't knock out, say, for example, someone said to me, just knock out your dad just to get into the UFC. I'd be like, well, no, sorry.
Yeah, agreed.
And I don't even love my dad. He's crap. That's a joke. Right.
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, look, maybe for you, it's the same as what Argueta's got with his dad. Your dad, he don't really like you, but he loves you. It's probably like that.
Yeah,
maybe yours is the other way around. You don't really love him, but you like him. No?
No, I just don't use that word, do I?
I've heard you say it about those sausage rolls and mash.
They're special, though.
Disgusting. So Turcios, he's in the house having a chat with Argueta, wearing a Hadouken beanie, I add. And they're having chats about their fight while eating some pizza. Are you going to do a Ninja Turtles me, man?
You want to go Ninja Turtles with me real quick?
Hop up in that one right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go.
Like a couple Ninja Turtles here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, let's toast to that bungale.
Now, I think it's quite good, the chats, some of it, because it's good to hear him say stuff like, "Oh, my head hurts so bad after," and Turcios replies, "I said, yeah, my elbow hurt, my leg hurt, and all that."
My head hurt so bad right afterwards.
I know, bro. My leg, my elbow, dude, it's wild, bro.
And I like that because you don't really hear fighters. I'm sure they do these chats. Maybe they're behind closed doors or in the hospital. They don't get filmed or whatever, or they don't like chatting about that because they've just been done. But I liked that, having a chat about their fight and the injuries they sustained and how hard it was. And Argueta done the same chat as he did after the fight. "Hey, man, why'd we do that?
That was crazy. Why'd we do that?
That was crazy. Why'd we do that?
Dude,
That was pathetic. I didn't mention that last time, but yeah, that was crap. That. Why'd we do that, man? Why? But however, the truth is, they didn't really know what to chat about. And it was a bit stiff and awkward and forced mates. I don't know if Gary DeFranco, he said, "Look, just stay there and have chats. You've got a few minutes." And they went, "We're done. My head hurts. Oh, my elbow hurts. My arm hurts. We're done." Because it was bad chats, really, wasn't it?
It seemed to me that one of them went out to get a slice of pizza without knowing that the other one was already round the pizza and accidentally bumped into him and thought, "Sod it. Now I've got a chat." Because I can't be rude, just go and get a slice of pizza and walk off. And so they said what needed to be said in order to be respectful and stuff like that. I think one of them, was it Turcios, who about 90% of his vocabulary was "for real." For real.
That's right.
For real. For real. Remember last week, Argueta was just, yep, before the fight. And then
I remember,
for reals. Yeah, because he was like, yeah, man, I got a headache. For real. Yeah, it was a really good fight. For real.
Man, you know it's all respect, bro. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm thankful that you were a good opponent too, man. And then you were cool. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Because it's been time. Yeah, man. For real. It was the battle, dude. It was a true battle, man. For real. Dang. That was crazy, dude. We talk about more later, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like, just forget it, guys. Just get your pizza and walk away, you know?
Agreed.
Anyway, it was an awkward conversation. Not really much to be said about it. But it was better in terms of chats after fights. It was better than Ryder versus Trajan, but it wasn't better than the after fight chats between Poirier and McGregor.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, those Trajan and Ryder chats were the worst. And yeah, you're right. McGregor ones and Poirier's were good. Dr. Stoppage, this ain't over.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We talk about more later, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Last week, I said that Argueta might be, because of the crop tops. And if you remember, in this in this chat scene, I mean, they did a move that points towards that. Argueta forced Turcios to do the whole, locking up pizza eating myths. And that, to me, is a you-know-what move.
I have no idea what you're talking about, locking up pizza myths.
Well, what they do is, one bloke puts his arm around the other bloke's arm.
Oh, yeah, like you do when you get married, yeah, and they take a photo of
right.
it. The champagne flutes and stuff like that, isn't it? That's
right. When you get married, which is the example you used. So now, crop top and that, what are we saying? Was it a bit of a, move that points towards that?
No.
Oh, well, have you done that move? Have we done that move too, Gizzo?
Well, I've never done that with you, no.
Okay. Well,
I don't think I've ever eaten a pizza with you, though, either, to be fair. But
well, that's true. That's what it takes, a pizza. But we could have done it with anything.
Does look good, though, doesn't he, Argueta? I actually think he looks really cool.
What, did he look cool doing that move?
Nah, not that necessarily, but...
Did he look cool when he looked up at him and went, why'd we do that, man? Why?
That was crazy. Why'd we do that?
Did he look... was that cool?
I didn't say he was cool. I just said he looked cool.
So the pizza move, that weren't a good move, was it? And Turcios sort of felt like, well, I've got to do this. It's been agreed.
Yeah, like I say, it was just awkward. Just go about your business.
So Hiestand, I correct myself, Hiestand.
My name is Brady Hiestand.
Very strange that he pronounced his own name Hiestand when his name is obviously Hiestand. I mean, it's spelled Hiestand, but it's pronounced Hiestand.
My name is Brady Hiestand.
So from this point onwards, I'm going to call him Hiestand, as agreed. So Hiestand and Rittenhouse, they're such good mates and training partners. They've never even done any sparring together.
Have we even sparred?
We haven't done any stand-up.
I don't think we have.
We definitely grappled, but we haven't done stand-up.
Yeah, because those times when I was coming to your gym, we were just rolling.
That was a year ago, too.
No.
So I think it might be a bit non-real mates, this. They kept going on about their roommates.
Brady and Josh, I think, I'm a little unfortunate. Obviously they're friends back home and they're roommates.
And then I find out later.
That was really annoying me. So
bad
what?
one.
In so many of these Ultimate Fighters, you have like 4, 5, 6 people to a room, and they never say, "Oh, you got to, fight your roommate." Well, who cares? So
I thought they meant roommates out
as in
Washington.
Live together.
Yeah.
I thought, in Washington they shared the same flat.
It's two guys from the same hometown, like fighting.
But I just mean they sleep within 6 feet of each other in the Ultimate Fighter house. So what?
Dana White even mentioned it, didn't he?
They're friends. They're roommates in the house.
These guys are roommates, and I said that they ain't roommates.
Mm.
That's not roommates. That's just where he sleeps in the house.
There's no way you can't tell me that this hasn't happened in multiple other episodes.
I mean, it's happened before. Has it? I'm sure. I don't know about like boys from the same town, but like roommates for sure.
Where say, you know, like especially episodes where fighters from the same team say win 7 out of the first matches. So in the end, you have to, you know, fight someone on your own team. You can't tell me that roommates in this show ain't fought each other loads of times.
I mean, it's happened before. Has it? I'm sure. I don't know about like boys from the same town, but like roommates for sure.
It's such a non-story. It's such a desperate grab of sort of like, let's just try and make some sort of drama around this fight that just doesn't exist. They don't even train at the same gym, as far as I could tell. They have trained at the same gym, but they don't now train at the same gym.
Yeah, because those times when I was coming to your gym, we were just rolling.
That was a year ago too.
No.
If they do, that gym's not very good, that they've got 2 guys of a similar skill level, a similar size, and they've never sparred together. So that's not very good on, if they do share the same gym, that's not very good on the gym's part. And like you say, they said, oh, you know, we've rolled a bit together, but we've never done stand-up. I was just like, you ain't even mates.
Yeah, it's non-real mates.
You just shared a gym from time to time, fleetingly. So what? You ain't mates, and you certainly don't love him.
Well, I don't know.
Spoiler alert, you ain't going to knock him out either. But anyway.
Brady, I love you, but I'm going to have to knock you out.
I don't know. He might still love him. I'm not gonna throw that one out from the things I've seen, hot tubs and all that. I'm not throwing that one out. So moving on, Ortega. There's a little chat from him coming up here. And he said that he told Rittenhouse from day one that he wanted him to fight Brady. I mean, I don't think that's real. Just right from day one. Oh, by the way, I want you to fight Brady. All right? No worries. It's because you're mates, roommates and all that, and you love him. But that's why.
They're friends. They're roommates in the house.
It's 2 guys from the same hometown, like fighting.
Brady and Josh, I think a little unfortunate. You know, obviously they're friends back home and they're roommates.
It was a bit of a shock when he found out that he was fighting Josh, because I think everyone thought that the roommates weren't fighting.
Brady, I love you, but I'm going to have to knock you out.
So I don't think that's real.
At that stage, he didn't know if he was going to be in control of the picks or anything.
Exactly, yeah. But Rittenhouse said, oh, no, hang on, but that's my friend. Intimating that he doesn't want to fight him because they are friends. But Ortega's response to this comment was, this show's not meant for favourites.
I told Josh right off the beginning, I want you to fight Brady. He said, oh, that's my friend. I told him, this show's not meant for favorites.
Not meant for favourites? What's that got to do with friends? Favourites? He just don't want to fight him because he's his mate. No, but listen, it's not meant for favourites.
It's one of those things that if he was really his mate, if Rittenhouse was really his mate, he'd have said, look, I will fight him if I have to, but I definitely think it can be avoided in the first round. You know, he could get, if you match him up against like a Raposo or whatever, I know they're on the same team, but if you match him up against a Raposo, he might get done. I might lose my first fight, whatever, you know, you could just avoid the whole scenario. You wouldn't just straight out the traps go, oh, well, I'll punch up with my mate that I apparently love.
Brady, I love you.
You know, so it's just nonsense. If he was really that close to him, he'd have said to Ortega, nah, man, look, just match up with someone else. I'd rather not fight my mate. If I was in that show with someone who I liked or I got on with and I got liked enough that I shared the room with them and this, that and the other, so I did think they were okay, I would probably say to my coach, listen, let's try and leave that fight as far down the road as possible. If it's inevitable, I'm more than happy to do it. But I don't want to just pick it when I've got other options available to me. So again, that just proves that they ain't really mates, because real mates wouldn't do that. You know, Cecilia wouldn't have a smash up with Chiesa. I know different weight classes, but he wouldn't have a smash up with Chiesa, I bet, unless he was really forced into a corner and they both had a chat about it and went, listen, one of us, this was our mission to win this tournament. We knew it was possible we might have to fight each other eventually. There's no way that first day, though, they go, I'll have a smash up with Cecilia. No way.
Exactly.
So it's just talking. Again, it's just people talking more crap just to pump themselves up, hype up the show, whatever. It was just nonsense. They ain't mates. I'd be interested to know how many times they've actually hung out outside of the gym. I bet you it's zero. I bet you it's a flat zero. I bet you not once.
No, nothing.
Before the show.
Rubbish Ortega chats. No way. Like you said, if the opposing coach says, look, I'm going to match them two up because they're mates, then you can't. That's another one where you can't really avoid it, right? He makes them clash on purpose. But there's just no way. First off, the opposing coach wouldn't even know they're mates because they ain't mates. Next shot was Rittenhouse fight footage. I wanted to know what you thought of it because they showed a little bit of him having fights outside the organisation.
Well, he's got quite a lot of experience, hasn't he? 20 plus fights. I thought he actually looked all right on the fight footage.
Yeah.
I thought when I saw him and just the little bits I did see of him moving around and just the way he looks and stuff, I thought, you know what, I got a feeling this guy is going to be an even less dynamic version of Darren Elkins. That's what I thought I was going to get. And I watched that footage and I thought, actually, this guy's all right. He looks quite solid. His bod's actually quite solid. He looks like a strong lump, which is deceptive because facially he looks weak. He don't look very strong. But yeah, looks can be deceiving. I thought he actually looked decent. Didn't like the way he ran his uppercuts and stuff like that on the pads just because he was lifting his chin up as he threw the uppercuts. But we'll get onto the uppercuts when we talk about the fight later.
We can do, but I agree that I thought the fight footage was quite good. But if you're going to bring up the training on the pads as well, I actually like the training on the pads. I didn't notice the uppercut chin version. What I did like about his pad work was that it showed me that his hips were really flexible and loose. Because he wasn't overturning on his shots, but his hips were each time, I thought he looked quite good. It did make me go, this bloke's decent,
I think looking at that training footage without seeing Hiestand, just seeing that training footage, I actually went, I think Rittenhouse is going to win this. I actually think he looks decent. And he looks like I didn't think he looked like he was going to be decent enough to win the show, but I actually thought, he looks all right. I think he'll probably get through to the next round here. And if he got a favourable matchup, he might be able to get a little bit further. But I actually thought he looked all right. Decent record.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Agreed. Well, they're not coming away from this, let's try a hick here, rhetoric of them being mates. Because the next shot is Rettinghouse and Brady. They're in the same room because we've agreed that they're roommates. But they're in separate beds and they're having chats. And I bet Rittenhouse moves that bed over during the night, making it one big one. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Might do.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not even saying that Brady wants that. I'm just saying that Rittenhouse pushes that over. And then in the night, he goes, well, it was all the wriggling and stuff I was doing. Whereas having a sleepless night, worried about us having a fight because we're mates, the gap between us is, well, it's shortened a little. You know what I mean? On to the Brady Hiestand home vid.
Hang on, you said they were in the hot tub. Was that it?
I ain't done hot tub yet. That was just in the bedroom.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there was nothing to say about the bedroom then, other than
that he'll push the bed over during the night and make it one big one. Yeah,
just do make that comment. All right, next.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Brady Hiestand's home vid. His brother is called Bryson. That means Bryson Hiestand. Bryson Hiestand. I mean, that's a bad one, isn't it? What? I mean, his name is Hiestand.
My name is Brady Hiestand.
Before you name him, and you call him Bryson Hiestand. Bryson Hiestand. Crap name.
I don't like it when it almost seems intentional when some people name their kids, I don't know, Flora and Dora, or David and Davina. It's almost like I'll flip off trying to be all like cutesy and this is Dave and this is Davina. You can tell it's intentional. Get lost, Brady and Bryson. I mean, I've never even heard of a name, Bryson.
What about the two Pitbull brothers? Ain't they got the same name?
Yeah, Patricia and Patricky.
Right, that's by purpose.
Yeah, stupid. I can testify. I got the same name as my dad, and their word. I ended up having to get a different name. So I knew when my mum was calling me or when she was calling my dad.
Yeah, it is a bit.
It's just a crap idea. There's plenty of names out there. You don't need to recycle them.
It was a weed home vid. Now going on. Bit of training with Bryson Hiestand. Some chats from Chiesa. He popped up again.
So Mike Chiesa is one of my good training partners.
There was nothing else to speak of for this for me. There was nothing.
Joking, yeah.
Well, now what happened in this vid?
Got a new tractor.
He's got a new tractor. Take a look at it. Brand new John Deere.
Oh, it's a John Deere or whatever it is.
John Deere. I mean, that isn't what I tune into the Ultimate Fighter for. You know, that's.
I'm sorry.
Exciting. Brand new as well.
I forgot.
And don't forget, his brother used to beat him.
Oh.
It's so boring, isn't it? His brother used to beat him up, and now he beats his brother up. Great. All right. Anyway, next.
Yeah, it weren't that great.
The only thing I thought was all right about this video is that we didn't have to put up with the stupid girlfriend chats and love you more.
But we love each other so much deep into our souls, baby. Christina, she means everything to me. It makes me so thankful deep within my heart.
I love you even more. Just get out the effing car. We didn't have to put up with any of that stuff. You know, it was
agreed.
He's my brother, and I'm pretty sure he said he'd done. No, it's Rittenhouse, isn't it? I mean, he done a real boring home vid, a real 9 to 5. His video was so boring, he even told us he doesn't sit on a chair when he works, he stands up.
Using the stand-up desk, trying to burn some calories while I'm at work, you know.
That's how boring his video was. So,
agreed.
At least they didn't, neither of them, just to reinforce your argument, neither of them had a girlfriend or a wife or anything like that to show off.
It's not me argument. I'm just saying that there's been a few things that have pointed in that direction, and you've just added to the list. That's all you've done. You just added to the list. But I agree with you. Both of those vids, even though we'll get on to 9 to 5's vid, both of those vids were better simply because they didn't have all the crap, all the home life crap, the less of it. So I agree, they were better. We're back to the UFC training center for some Hiestand training. There's a little scene of him shadow boxing and battles. He's outside. He's watching it, analyzing it, I guess. He's doing some crap mumbling chats. They make absolutely zero sense. Didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. And he ended it with the run-of-the-mill, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee comment.
Yeah, baby, rumble, young fella, rumble. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Let's go, there it is.
I've been taught, and I've always been taught this, if in doubt, leave it out. That's my advice to battles.
It's a side profile shot of battles, wasn't it?
Yeah, with all like bruises on his head and all that.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I hate that all fighters do these days when they show the training footage is, you know, ding, 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 the end of the final round of shadow boxing or training, and they all put their arms in the air and do the visualizing, like that's the final bell and I've just won the fight. I hate that. It's just like one person done it and now everybody does it. It's just so...
Well, I don't like that. I don't like that in real UFC fights either. When they get up, it's like the scorecards have been done, guys. You're not influencing any judging now. You know, they get up off the floor and they're like, "Yes, done him." It's like, oh, it's done. Influencing no one.
The judge still has to judge that round, and you know
he's already done it. By the time it's gone clappers, and he's already made his decision.
Let's just say it's a round where he's struggling to separate them. Maybe if one person jumps up off the mat looking fresh and the other one flakes down on the canvas looking a little bit deflated, it might make him go, yeah, maybe he was just a bit better. It's just every little helps.
I don't think it makes no difference, but maybe it does.
My dad always told me at the end of every round to never slump your shoulders, don't look deflated, don't look, down. Try and leave a good impression. Try and leave a good impression that you're ready to go for the next round, that you're fit, you're strong, you're healthy, and you're all good, because it might just play into their mindset a little bit. So
rubbish.
Well, look, that's what he's about. But judging by my record, it done sweet FA. So,
but you have a record, and that's something to be proud of.
I think I was probably better off not having a record and just saying I could have been good rather than having it proved that I was actually scat. But anyway, let's carry on.
But there are moves that I don't like that once someone's done it, everyone does it. The belt move is another one.
50 G's, baby.
Yeah, another one. So there are things that people pick up of other people. It works. I guess someone done the belt move and they went, great. He got a championship fight because he put his hands around his waist, but he didn't. So, yeah, I agree. That move of putting your hands up, especially in training, because I've been told by someone who's got a record, it does make a difference at the end of a real fight. You've got to keep it in the judges' minds that...
I didn't say it makes a difference as in like it's indisputable that it always makes a difference. I'm saying it could potentially make some little slight shred of difference in the mind of a judge.
If it's a real, like you said, if it's a real tight round
exactly.
and they've got nothing to separate it.
The right scenario, yeah.
And they say he's closest to being finished because he can't even get up and go to his stool.
Exactly,
yeah, fair enough. Yep, that is absolutely a fair point. Hiestand fight footage. What did you think of that?
Can't really remember it. I think both of these guys actually looked better, better physical specimens and better fighters than I anticipated they were going to be. I honestly thought these two were going to be a couple of drips, and I actually thought they both looked decent. Both looked decent. But I think judging by the training footage and judging by the fight footage and the records and stuff like that, I did start to think maybe Rittenhouse will nick this. I thought that maybe, like use his experience, grind him out, maybe have him up against the cage, just win the key sort of battles. That's the key Brian battles. That's what I thought might happen. But
yeah, because we thought last time we were talking about how wet and drippy and saggy we thought them and the fight was going to be. And as I started seeing footage, I thought, no, these both look good.
Yeah, I think so as well, yeah.
Well, Rittenhouse, he's having a chat to Miles whilst they're eating It's about how they got into fighting and what their friends and family said to them remember that little scene?
So I was just planning on fighting, and I was like, I'll do accounting later on. And then one day my buddy, one of my good friends, just came in and was like, bro, go get yourself a damn job.
That's dope, man. We need people just to say something subtle to you like that. For me, I remember my sister, bro. My sister was really nonchalant too. She's like, you're holding yourself back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just told me, he's like, go get a job, man. And I was like, man, you're right. I literally went home that night and applied for a job, and they offered it to me. And I've been there for 6 years now.
It's dope, man.
But I mean, they're not thrilled about me being here, but I think they also know I'm towards the end of my career for sure,
Yeah.
So I just live one day at a time, man.
Yeah, I do remember them saying a lot. We realized the other day that we use the word a lot as well. But we generally use it when we're comparing something. It's a little bit like when you go to the shops and blah, blah, blah. And we also say it when I like that movie, something like that. But there seems, I just used it there, something like that as a comparison, right?
Yeah, but that's real. That's how
I know,
supposed
that's
to
what I was
use
going
it.
to say. It just seems to be when I was growing up, everyone started putting in it at the end of a sentence.
Okay,
That was the
I remember
version.
it.
And so people would say it was a good fight, innit? You going to the shops, innit? I mean, even that, stuff where it made no grammatical sense.
And your dad would take the mick out of it, innit?
Oh yeah, my old man was going really not happy about it.
Yeah,
but,
mine too. Speak proper.
Yeah, even that's not proper. But that just seems to be the new thing that people slip in, especially when you hear, I don't know, younger people talking. Just seems to be the way that they just slip it's almost like a pause. In Japanese, I think they go eto, which is hang on a second, I'm not finished talking, I'm saying more, but I'm gathering my thoughts, so to speak. So you might say something
same as
yeah, exactly. It's their version of or or whatever. And I think now that just seems to be a junction point between sentences, as if to say to someone, I'm not finished talking, but I ain't got it sorted out in my head what I'm going to say. So they just slip it in everywhere. But because it's a word rather than just, that and or an it just sounds stupid because it just changes the whole structure of a sentence.
Of course it does.
Don't make sense. It's really annoying and crap. And I don't like it.
But you use that perfectly. The word is there. It's in the language. It's in the dictionary. It is to be used when it needs to be used. Like, that was a bad scene, but we've noticed that a lot, with a lot of people, anyway, do not get me into that habit, because I'm not interested in picking up on that. Josh Rettinghouse home vid is the next scene. He's an accounting bloke with a power certificate and a normal full-time job. I mean,
yeah, you know you're struggling for content when you're pointing at a certificate on the wall, going, "Film that? Is that any good? Will that do you?" That will fill about 3 seconds. There's my accounting certificate. This is the badge I got for swimming 50 meters when I was 8. It's just really desperate, wasn't it? Like I say, this is where I work. I don't have a chair because I like to burn some calories when I'm at work.
Yeah. Using the stand-up desk, trying to burn some calories while I'm at work,
This guy ain't got much going on outside of the fighting, which is fair enough, as we said. If someone came to video me and said, "Well, come on in, tell me what you do with your time."
Well, I've sanded a table down, but what I did afterwards is I put some oil on it because that's what they said on the up recycling websites and stuff, and I put some oil on it, and it took all the stain off on the rag I was using. So I've ruined it, and I've had to sand it down again. All the dust is all around the house. It's on the curtains. It's on the window ledges. It's everywhere. So one thing led to another. Now I'm having to clean up and hoover the house, and not only that, I've got to do it again. So that's what you'd be chatting about, yeah.
Yeah. And I could tell that you were bored listening to me talking about the table. So
no, I liked it.
Maybe I should have brought out some of my certificates, but it's look, like we said before, most people. Like we said before, most people have very ordinary, mundane existences, 9 to 5, and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I think he might have been a bit more than 9 to 5, didn't he? Say sort of 10 to 12 hours. He sort of snuck a few extra hours on there, didn't he?
Oh, doesn't everybody like to claim that they're working 23-hour days? It's such nonsense, honestly. It really is. Look, I've done enough jobs in my time, right? I've worked with enough people to know that not many people out there are pulling shifts much longer than 10 hours at the max.
Even if they're there for that long, they ain't doing out.
No, that's right, yeah.
He's standing there looking at that certificate, pretending he's doing more than someone else because he's got 2 screens instead of 1 and a laptop. So he's actually got 3 screens on the go. And I'm doing this is harder for me because I'm standing up. I liked the vid because, like you said, it was real. It didn't have a lot of the fake stuff. But I mean, he really was on his own. I mean, I don't remember another human.
Did he even have a dog?
I think he did have a dog.
I think he did as well. Didn't he walk a dog in the park or something?
Was that the vid where he said he's blessed to live here? It's lovely out here. Well, that might have been Hiestands. I don't know.
I
think he might have had a dog.
It was him. He went out for a walk in the park or something.
Yeah.
Real riveting stuff.
Very much so.
Really left an impression on us. Like I say, that's not digging him out because, like I say, if you go around and follows pretty much 99% of people around for a day, they ain't going to be doing much. Most people are just getting up, going to work, having lunch, come back home, having a ready meal, watching Love Island and going to bed. And that's just the way it is.
Finally, we see this is for the Rittenhouse home vid, a very small, pokey gym. It was so crap that it even had a terrible rubbish quoll sign outside. Still pretty big compared to Inger's, don't get me wrong. It was still a fair-sized gym, but in comparison to what we've seen, he was at a real, scummy one. And the sign, that was bad quoll. You could have done better than that on Photoshop or even PowerPoint in only half an hour. That's what I'm saying.
I have done better than that. It was a little bit more of a modest gym. I'll be a little bit more respectful than you. But yeah, it was a bit of a modest gym. But nothing wrong with that, really. And I imagine, like we said, they're not real training partners. They're not real mates. They're not real buddies.
It was a bit of a shock when he found out that he was fighting Josh because I think everyone thought that the roommates weren't fighting.
It's two guys from the same hometown, like fighting. Brady and Josh, I think if young, a little unfortunate, you know, obviously they're friends back home and they're roommates.
They're friends. They're roommates in the house.
Yeah, otherwise we would have seen him in the gym, right? They were in different gyms.
Yeah, exactly,
We've just seen their home vids, different gyms.
Yeah, so that's the end of that chat and nonsense. It's time for the fight, isn't it? Yeah,
no, incorrect. It's time for the Ultimate Fighter flashback.
Ah.
This week's, it's Bang Bro, Julian Lane's antics from season 16.
Let me bang, man. I don't want to do that, man. Let me bang, bro.
I do.
I do. Let me bang,
I
man.
do let you bang. Hey.
Let me bang again, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
It's got Grey Pants Sloth in it. He was in there, which is good to see. It is good. It is iconic, if you like, which I think is what they said. It's always about him saying, let me bang, bro. But for me, the better bit is the other bloke who says, I do let you bang. You know, he's just saying, look.
Yeah, Michael Hill.
Is that it, Michael Hill? Yeah.
Michael Hill, yeah.
His bit's way better where he's taking it all in and says, listen. I do
They honestly, at one point, they look like they're going to embrace in a really aggressively passionate snog. You know, when they're looking at each other and he's like, you know, one of them's crying. He's like, I do let you bang, bro. It's like, they're going to kiss. They're going to kiss. If Nicholas Walters and all that and Colston Smith weren't in the room, I think they'd have been probably pounding on the bunk beds 10 minutes later. That was my favourite bit, by the way, was Nicholas Walters. He gave it all the chat that he was ready for a smash. But hiding behind the bunk bed. Yeah.
Please. And he was saying, when he, please.
Colston was begging, wasn't he? Like, look, please stop, please. But Walters was all hiding behind the bunk bed.
Yeah,
so
he had his hands out, his knee up, you know, trying to defend himself and everything.
Trying to get banged out. We weren't worried. But how did you end up in a little nook and cranny hiding behind a bunk bed? Listen, he could probably beat Julian Lane. But the facts are, I'm not even digging Walters out, because when somebody is that bonkers and that crazy and that pumped and that hyped, you don't want to deal with their impulsiveness and their erratic behavior. That's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of them. You're afraid of that behavior. Not even afraid. It's the case of you just don't want it.
He's not with it, is he? He's not in the same realm. You know, they're in.
Yeah, he's lost control.
So it was no good that. But what did you think of it as
he needed someone like Michael Hill to come in, and to be fair, I think Michael Hill was he was obviously just absolutely off his tits as well, but it was quite brave of him just to stand in front of someone that mad and that aggressive and, you know, be as cool as he was and just sort of, you know, he weren't intimidated, didn't give him, you know, Colston was doing the arms out, keeping him at bay sort of method, whereas Michael Hill was like, oh, do you want a snog or what? I mean, what's going on here? But I'll tell you what, that Michael Hill, he's the spitting image of Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. I mean, it's the same bloke.
I don't remember Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. You've got Lecter and...
Yeah, Lecter, Foster. It's obviously neither of them two.
Oh, I know the actor.
Look him up.
Played it.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill.
I know the actor who played it. So, yeah, he does look like him. Blonde puffhead bloke with teeth.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, I can't understand how you remembered everyone's name. You even remember Grey Pants' name. I never remembered his name.
Yeah, Colston, yeah. Sloth from the Goonies, isn't it? There was
brilliant.
The only thing I didn't like about this flashback was that they didn't give it enough. That they should have showed the whole, you know, the drinking at the start, when it started to, you know, sort of lose control,
punching the walls and all that. They didn't show nothing. Headbutting stuff. Yeah.
They literally just showed the "let me bang, bro. I will let you bang," and that was kind of
wasn't enough.
It was just so much more to be shown. But I guess they had to squeeze in Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse's account certificate.
I agree. I don't think they did a very good job of the flashback, but it was a needed flashback and an expected one. It was pretty obvious one by DeFranco. He could have chosen some more less obvious ones, but if you're not an Ultimate Fighter fanatic like we are, then you wouldn't have seen it, and it would have needed seeing.
Let me bang, man. I don't want to do that, man. Let me bang, bro.
I do. do. I do.
Let me bang,
I
man.
do let you bang. Hey.
Let me bang again, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Now we are on to the fight. Brady Hiestand, 5-1 for Team Volkanovski versus Josh Rettinghouse, the accounting wizard, 16-5 for Team Ortega.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the Ultimate Fighter Weigh-In featuring Brady Hiestand and Josh Rettinghouse.
Haven't you missed something at the weigh-ins? Didn't the bloke at the weigh-in say, don't touch each other?
Gentlemen, don't touch each other on the face-off, please. The roommates.
Hometown boys.
And
I do remember that. He said,
and then straight after I went, nice one, guys, good job. They done a slap hand and a hug. I was like, didn't you just?
I've never heard. I have to say, I've never heard that before from the commission bloke who does the weigh-ins. I've never heard him say, don't touch each other.
I don't know whether that's got something to do with COVID or whether it's just got something to do with, don't do a Jeremy Stevens Drakkar close.
But they're friends. They're roommates, friends, training partners. They're not going to...
They need that referee in the bedroom every night.
You see, now we're on the same wavelength. This is the thing. And maybe that bloke knew about that. He's seen the same stuff we've seen. He'd put the same, the correlation. He'd put the same things together and gone, I think they might be... So let's just keep this professional, boys. Save that for the bedroom, the roommates. So now we're on to the fight.
Ready, sir? Ready, sir? Fight.
I think they did both come out like they wanted a winner, came out and went mad on each other. The mates thing obviously went out the window. Brady ends up on Josh's back with a choke threat. And I have to say, I really like the way Rittenhouse powered out of it. He sort of pushed him off and wriggled out of it and powered out of it. Mostly wrestling and grappling. But I gave that round to Hiestand.
Yeah, agreed. Pretty clear round for Hiestand. Just got the better of the grappling exchange, didn't he? Had control for more of it, and that was that. He came out like a bat out of hell. And I think that by the end of the round, I thought he's won that round, but at what cost? I felt like he'd expended so much energy that Rittenhouse was going to come out and probably stop him towards the end of round 2. That was my impression after the first round.
It kind of is what happened. Sort of.
Seconds out. Second round, here we go. Fight.
Because in round 2, I think Brady, he seemed a bit desperate for a takedown this time. But Josh landed a load of good knees, got some pretty hard punches in with some good, and they were quite good, uppercuts. I know you said his uppercuts were
I liked. Yeah, I'm not saying that the technique was perfect, but he was. Look, both of them had bad, I think, range management. Rittenhouse was coming into range where he was really open, and Hiestand wasn't taking advantage enough. When he was throwing the odd jab or straight punch, it was basically landing flush in Rittenhouse's face because he was literally about 30 centimeters away from Hiestand's glove. But occasionally, I almost feel like it was intentional because occasionally he got the timing down of that lead hand, and that's when he'd slip and then throw that uppercut. And every time he caught him with it, he really did ping him with it good. And it was a good technique from Rittenhouse, and he was using it a lot. You don't see many UFC fighters using slips and stuff like that because it's obviously quite difficult and risky evasion.
You have to be very confident, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so I thought he was really good in that second round, and he obviously got it on the scorecards because it went to a third.
Okay, there will be a third round. There is a third round.
And I thought, this is just going to be more of the same. He might even get a stoppage now. I thought he was going to get stoppage in round 2. He didn't, because I think Hiestand did manage to initiate some grappling exchanges that sort of sucked up a lot of the time of the round. But I thought next round, Hiestand's going to be even more out of breath. And I was like, Rittenhouse is going to bang him out here, I think, in round 3. That was what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I definitely Josh wore Brady down in that round 2 with some decent striking and whatnot, and not getting totally overpowered with grappling. So yeah, like you say, did go to round 3 because of that.
Third round, here we go, boys. Fight.
And considering I thought he was so worn down from round 2, I weren't expecting much from Brady at all. And to be fair, there weren't that much. He got punched about for the first half of the round and then just grabbed on for the second half. And Brady squeezed it out on points. He just turned into an annoying slug and laid on him for the last half of the round. And to me, he used the sport aspect of it, the points aspect of it, and just went, oh, I need to win. And that's what he did. And he won. It was a reasonable fight. I think both are good, but the loser, Josh Rettinghouse, I think is better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment. I think it was, as you say, good on Brady, right? You wouldn't expect that from the younger fighter. You would think that maybe he would make some, have lower fight IQ, maybe make some inexperienced mistakes, but he didn't. He done good, as in you could see that he thought, I need to cement this position. I need to keep this control, because if I lose it, and this goes back to the feet, the chance I'm not going to get knocked out or anything, but I'm going to lose this on points, because when it's standing up, there's a clear advantage for Rittenhouse, and when I say clear, his head getting pinged back a lot and him landing some eye-catching strikes. So he realised, I've got to keep this down on the mat and keep control. Now, personally, I still gave the round to Rittenhouse because of the damage he done early in the round. Okay. And even once Hiestand had his back and had all this control, what did he really do with it? Land anything of any significance? Any punches?
No,
any
nothing.
Strikes? Not that I can really remember. If anything, I remember it was Rittenhouse who was still trying to land some strikes and do some stuff. So, of course, you've got to give some points advantage to Hiestand for initiating the takedown and controlling the position. But how much of that is negated by the fact that Rittenhouse was also doing a little bit of striking damage when he was on the mat, and he also had the much better of the stand-up exchanges early in the round. So personally, I would have leaned toward Rittenhouse. But if someone turned around and went, well, I gave it to Brady for his control and stuff like that in the third round, I'd go, no problem. It's just a difference of opinion. It was definitely a close round either way. I personally would have lent to Rittenhouse, but it went to Hiestand.
Time. Up easy, guys. Up easy. Unbelievable, gentlemen. Great job. Excellent job. Great job. Great sportsmanship.
Well, it's a good point. After hearing your assessment, I agree with you. And it would be better if more judges were like yourself, because I think I do agree with that, because it did annoy me, the slug move that he did. Like I said, he sort of took advantage of the sport and just got enough points. But there are times when the bloke on the bottom can still win, or he did enough before he ended up on the bottom. So, yeah. It ain't what happened, but I think I agree with you that it would have been better if he won. Maybe he just got up too slow and he didn't fling his hands in the air at the end of it, Rittenhouse, and that's why it did. Yeah,
that definitely cost him. But I think it's just sometimes the best way to judge a fight is look at it and go, well, if I had to be one of those guys in that fight, who would I rather have been? Would I rather have been he, or would I rather have been Rittenhouse? And I think for me personally, I've looked at that fight and gone, I'd rather have been Rittenhouse, because Hiestand ate a lot more damaging shots. And yeah, he had some good ground control and position and stuff, but they ain't going to do anything unless you make something of it. You use that position, that control, to get in a position where you can land damaging strikes or finish with a submission. And he done neither. So for me personally, I would have lent to Rittenhouse, but it was perfectly fine and justifiable that it went to Hiestand. But what I will say, really good from both of them. Hiestand showed a hell of a lot of grit, determination, and stuff like that, because after round one, I thought he was finished.
Same.
I thought he'd blown his load. And Rettinghouse, I thought he showed a decent skill level. I'd have all those bantamweights back for the finale. All of them. I think they've all been really good.
That's right, because they're the last two, which means we've liked all of them, yeah.
Yeah, there's not one. Even Lampros, who got knocked out, he was still game and willing and decent for the time he was in there. It's all of them been really, really good. I would definitely have them all back.
They have all been good. But if Josh Rettinghouse, if he had to lose to anyone, though, then I guess he'd like it to be Brady. So
I was gonna lose. 10-1. I guess I'd like it to be him. So
Out wrong with that, though. It means a lot to him, doesn't it? He did say, didn't he? He said, this is my last chance. So for him, he probably thinks it's over, but he really shouldn't be that tick. He must have seen other, series of The Ultimate Fighter and know that lots of people get a shot on the Ultimate Fighter finale. And he definitely had a good enough scrap and showed enough that he'll get a match against Raposo or he'll get a match against Lampros or whoever. No problem. No problem. He's still.
I just think so. He was going on about it earlier in the episode about his age. I think he said he's saying like 31, which ain't that old, but last chance for him. He's been doing his accounting thing. He's got his certificate. He's been doing it for 6 years and all that. Mentally, he was thinking about it wrong. I'm a bit old. I've got a normal job. I've been doing this fighting for 12 years. I've been doing this normal job for 6 years. I might have to pass the torch over. It's the old dog against the young dog. So mentally, I think maybe he was thinking about it wrong.
Yeah, mentally, maybe he checked out a little bit because, like you say, he's not that old. 31, big deal. That is nothing. Look, obviously, the higher you go up in the weight classes, so generally people fight into their later years more in sort of like the heavyweight, light heavyweight, those kinds of divisions, rather than the younger divisions where speed and agility and stuff like that are more important. But he's 31. He can keep going for another 5 years, easy, minimum. Yeah, he'll get his chance at the Ultimate Fight finale, I'm sure, because he put on a good show and he was decent.
He definitely got time to have a good career because he has been doing it for 12 years, because he has got quite a bit of experience, and because we've now seen that he is good under some more pressure, lights, camera, action and all that, and he's still performed. He's still really good. So I think he's got plenty of time to have a decent career. And if it all goes wrong, he's got the certificate. There's no bother. And that is true. He's got something to fall back on, right?
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good. So I think he should have a bit more confidence in himself, a bit more self-belief, because I honestly thought he was better than Hiestand. I thought he was better.
Yeah.
This makes it 4 wins to 3 for Ortega. Volkanovski continues his comeback trail. Getting very, very close. If he wins the next one, it's evens.
Who is in the last fight, though?
Gilbert Urbina versus Miles Hunsinger.
All right, yeah. So we're going to have... There we go. Gilbert. Miles.
Yes. It's Paul Felder versus Hector Urbina. The snap of next week's episode was quite interesting, wasn't it? Because the Miles fella has some sort of injury or something that's going to leave him in a little bit of a conundrum. Maybe he won't be able to fight. So that's obviously the intrigue for the next episode. What it actually is and how serious it is, we don't know, or how much of it is just good editing from DeFranco. Unlikely. We'll see. We'll see what it is. If he can't fight and they have to bring someone back, who are the options? Can you remember?
This is middleweight blokes. Is that the weight class these blokes are? Right. So this is the bigger fellas. Yeah. So Ryder Newman.
Yes, I wouldn't bring back Ryder. See, even though, go on. I'll just say who I'll bring back. I wouldn't bring back Ryder. Wouldn't bring back Phillips, and I wouldn't bring back the guy who just walked forward getting punched in the head.
Kemran Lachinov. Kemran was crap.
Kemran was terrible. Yeah. Ryder was too submissive. Dare I say it, Phillips might be the better option.
So our choices are Kemran and Aaron Sagbod.
Yeah, or Ryder.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going Aaron Sag.
That's what I said, yeah.
Not seen enough.
Got submitted, didn't he, by Petrosky?
Yeah, right, exactly. Like you say, we've seen Ryder and how he's fought.
Kemran and Ryder have got to offer.
Right.
And it was not.
Let's see if the show producers, Dana, whoever, agrees with us. But yeah, I agree exactly with your assessment there.
I think, though, they'll bring back Ryder.
What do you mean? Because he's sort of more of a star of the show?
Yeah, and just to keep him on the straight and narrow, and it say don't go out partying too hard with battles and all that. I'm hoping that Miles does fight, because I don't want to see Ryder fight again. Don't want to see Phillips fight again. I definitely don't want to see Kemran fight again.
No. They was pointing towards maybe something wrong with his knee or whatever. It could just be drama for the sake of drama, and he just ends up fighting. But I suppose he tries to make you want to tune in to the next episode. But we're Ultimate Fighter fanatics. We're tuning in regardless. You don't need these teasers for us. We're tuning in.
Even though it's crap. He looks like the creepy weasel, doesn't he, that Miles?
The creepy weasel?
Yeah, he was in the Ultimate Fighter series years ago. I can't remember his real name, but his nickname was the Creepy Weasel. I think he was in the one American Top Team versus Black Zillions series.
Brilliant.
It looks identical. Long bean.
That does ring a bell. What's it called? A mullet grease.
Yeah, that's it. Ginger mullet bloke. Yeah. I'm pretty sure his first name's Steve.
I think it might be Steve Grease. Well, that's the end of this episode. We ain't got many left, right? Of this ultimate fight.
It was Steve. It's Creepy Weasel Steve Montgomery.
There you go. And after looking at him after this many years, you still saying he looks like Hunsinger?
Yeah, still looks the same. Yeah.
Brilliant.
There's probably 5 more episodes for the finale, I'd have thought.
Yeah, come on, brilliant. I haven't seen the comeback pranks from Volkanovski yet.
We're going to be doing some solid pranks ourselves, so don't you worry about that.
I thought they'd be this week, yeah, but they haven't been.
Oh, yeah, because they do the bit where the coaches pick. Who do you want? Dana picks, and they go, who do you coaches want to fight next? The next matchups. Yeah, brilliant. Some good shows coming, everybody. Some good shows coming, including our review shows, of course. Thanks very much. If you did listen, brilliant. Thanks for doing the chat as usual. See you for the next one. Thanks, mate. See you later.
See ya.